Cameras have captured chilling encounters that left everyone shocked. Whether it's strange cryptids, aliens, or other eerie beings.
Hello?
What they were caught doing was really disturbing. A group of explorers set out to film an abandoned complex in 2022, but before they could even step inside, they froze. Something was moving across the roof, fast, light, and oddly shaped. Its long limbs stretched unnaturally, and its glowing eyes darted from corner to corner. It leapt from one side of the building to the other, like it weighed nothing. When the camera zoomed in, the shape became clearer. Not an animal, not human. The creature suddenly stopped and stared straight at them. That was enough. They dropped the camera and ran. Locals later told them about rakes seen around that place. Strange cryptid. Late one afternoon near Tromsø, Norway, a man out filming the quiet hills spotted something moving far below. He zoomed in, expecting maybe an animal, but what showed up on camera didn't look like anything he'd ever seen. The thing had long, jointed legs like a crab, but its upper body looked disturbingly human. It crawled across the sand in slow, deliberate movements, pausing now and then as if it knew it was being watched. The footage was unsettling. Its motion was too real to be fake, but too unnatural to make sense. Some online called it CGI, but others believed the man had caught something from deep within the unknown. Exploration gone wrong.
Hello?
Back in May 2021, a vlogger exploring an abandoned mountain house thought he was filming a normal urban adventure. The place was silent, dusty, and long forgotten. But as he panned across a cracked window, something pale appeared on the other side. A thin, distorted figure watching him. The vlogger froze, then bolted, his breathing shaky as he ran downhill.
Hello?
Later, he shared the clip, saying he might have come face to face with a rake. This close encounter was very terrifying, and rakes are known to haunt such locations. Crouched figure.
What the is that?
In Wyoming, a man filming the woods captured something that sent chills through everyone who saw it. Near a tree, something small and dark crouched low, almost melting into the bark. At first, it looked like a raccoon, or maybe a stump, until it moved. Its arms were too long, its body too narrow, and the way it shifted felt strangely human.
Oh, it's moving. No. Okay, no, but...
He zoomed in, trying to focus, but the thing stayed perfectly still, watching. When the clip hit the internet, people couldn't agree on what it was. Some said it looked like a young Sasquatch. Others thought it was something else entirely, something that only pretends to be alive. Staircase creature. When this photo was captured, people thought that it was fake, just another creepy edit making rounds online. But when the full video surfaced, everything changed. It showed a tiny creature sitting at the base of a staircase, completely still, almost like it was thinking. Its body looked small and fragile, but its face was wrong. Its glowing eyes stared directly at the camera, blank and cold. The moment it twitched, the person filming panicked and ran. To this day, no one knows what it was or why it appeared there, but many say it didn't seem lost. It seemed aware. Ohio Nightcrawler. On March 25th, 2022, an Ohio driver captured something that left viewers disturbed. The dashcam footage showed a massive insect-like creature crossing the road, its legs moving in an unnatural rhythm, its tail dragging behind like a whip. It looked like a giant spider, but its height and size made that impossible. Startled, the driver sped away, but the video spread online fast. Experts couldn't agree on what it was, and locals still talk about that eerie night when something crawled out of the dark that didn't belong there. crawling in the dark. A parking lot security camera caught something that no one was ready for. In the middle of the night, a small, bald figure crawled across the pavement, its movements jerky and unnatural. The footage showed it clawing at a poster on the wall before creeping closer to the camera. Its blank face just visible in the glow of a streetlight. Then, it suddenly vanished. The odd way it moved and its strange shape left people uneasy. Some said it was a hoax, but others believed something real and unknown might be walking among us. Lake Monster. In a quiet Indonesian town, people kept whispering about a monster living in the lake. One brave man decided to find out if the stories were true. He brought a whole chicken, tied it near the water, and waited. For a while, nothing happened. Then the surface started to ripple, and something huge rose out of the dark water. A hairy, human-shaped creature that stood upright before grabbing the chicken and slipping back beneath the surface. The man was left stunned. He'd grown up hearing tales of this creature. But seeing it himself made him realize something terrifying. Some local legends might not be legends at all. Night Visitor. In June 2015, a man was woken by strange noises echoing outside his home. Thinking it was animals, he stepped out to check, but the sound wasn't coming from the yard. It was above him. When he looked up, he saw a pale, hairless creature crouched on his roof. Its thin arms hung low, and its head was oddly stretched backward, almost reptile-like. It didn't move at first, just stared down at him silently. Then, without warning, it bolted out of sight, vanishing into the dark. He never found out what it was, but that image haunted him for years. Alien in Argentina. A viral clip from Argentina showed something shocking, an alien-like creature being held captive by a man. The being didn't look threatening, just terrified. Its pale skin, frail frame, and hollow eyes made it seem almost human, but not quite. What made it stranger was the timing. 3 months earlier, a trail camera in the same region caught a nearly identical figure walking through the woods. Locals believe it's the same entity, sparking wild theories about where it came from and how long it's been among us. Forest Spearman. Back in 2017, a group of bikers in Indonesia rode deep through the jungle trails when something darted out from the bushes. A tiny, humanoid figure stepped onto the path, barefoot, wearing no clothes, and holding what looked like a small spear. It froze when it noticed the bikers, then vanished into the trees faster than anyone could react. When the riders followed, they found footprints, but no sign of anyone. Some said it belonged to an undiscovered tribe, while others were convinced it wasn't human at all. Silent Watcher. In a Brazilian town, locals started talking about a creature that looked part man, part dog. Curious to see if the stories were real, a group of friends headed into the woods one night, flashlights in hand. After some time searching, the bushes nearby began to rustle. When they aimed their lights, there it was. Tall, dark, and covered in fur, staring straight at them. The dog man. It didn't move, didn't growl, just watched. That was enough for them. They slowly backed away and left the woods, and strangely, no one ever reported seeing the creature again. Trail cryptid. During an evening jog, a man noticed something strange sitting in the middle of the path ahead. It looked like a large animal at first, dark and still, But as he got closer, he saw its shape clearly. A black, crouched figure with long limbs and pointed ears. It didn't move, but the air felt tense, like the silence before a chase. The jogger turned slowly and backed away, heart racing. Some say it matched descriptions of the dogman seen in nearby woods. Whatever it was, he swears it was watching him the whole time. Mysterious footage. Late one night, a camera deep in the woods captured something unsettling. A tall, thin figure stood among the trees, its long limbs and huge, reflective eyes staring directly into the lens. Just as the flashlight beam moved, another figure peeked from behind a nearby trunk, gone in a blink, but clearly there. The stillness of both creatures felt unnatural, too deliberate to be a prank. Viewers were left convinced that something intelligent and possibly inhuman was watching from the forest shadows. Forest giant. A man walking near the woods noticed something strange. Trees all around were snapped and tossed aside, as if a giant had torn through them in anger. While he stood there trying to make sense of it, the ground seemed to shiver, and from the shadows, the very creature behind the destruction appeared. It was massive, covered in black, and watching him quietly, like it had been waiting. The man didn't think twice. He turned and ran for his life, realizing just how lucky he was that the creature didn't follow. Yard cryptid. A couple in Dallas, Texas, started hearing strange movement outside at night. Thinking it was just a wild animal, they waited till morning to check their security camera. But when they did, they were stunned. It wasn't an animal at all. The footage showed a small cryptid-like creature crawling along their yard's wall, moving in ways no normal animal could. It lingered for a while, then slipped out of sight. They called the authorities, but no one ever found anything. Maybe that was for the best, because facing it in person might have ended differently. Real werewolf? A clip that recently surfaced online has people questioning everything. Is this a real-life werewolf? The video shows a dark, fur-covered creature crawling on all fours before rising up to its full height, with glowing eyes and a terrifying presence. It looks too real to be a costume, yet too strange to be human. Some viewers swore it was an actual werewolf caught on camera, while others argued it had to be a prank. Whatever the truth, one thing's for sure. Seeing it stand up like that gave everyone chills. Oregon creature.
Still there? It's a chupacabra in Oregon.
A tourist hiking through the Oregon woods stumbled across something straight out of folklore. Lying beside the trail was a strange, thin creature, its skin pale and stretched, its body almost skeletal. It didn't look like roadkill or any wild animal he'd ever seen. The man pulled out his phone, filming from a distance, but didn't stick around long. The footage later went viral, with people comparing it to descriptions of the legendary chupacabra.
Still there? It's a chupacabra in Oregon.
Whatever it was, that eerie shape in the dirt left everyone wondering what else might be living deep in those forests. Mysterious creature. In daylight near Kisangani, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, a farmer recorded something that shocked the entire village. Through the trees, a tall figure walked upright, covered in thick brown fur. Its face was long, its features more canine than human. As the camera zoomed in, its shape became clearer. It was standing like a person, but no ordinary animal moves that way. The sight matched local stories of the Dogman, a creature said to roam the forests for centuries. Whether it was myth or proof, That short clip left many uneasy about what really hides in Congo's wilderness. California Goblin. This was captured in Sacramento, California, where a man kept hearing noises from a nearby house that was on sale. One night, curiosity got the better of him, and he went to see what was inside. What he found was terrifying. A small figure crouched in the dark, its face twisted, ears pointed, and eyes glinting in the faint light. Before he could react, the creature hurled a stone at him, then leapt off the roof with inhuman speed. Locals believe he saw a goblin, a creature said to haunt empty places and feed off decay. Whatever it was, that man never went back again. Boneback figure. A viral clip showed a man exploring a quiet, empty area when he caught something that looked straight out of a nightmare. His camera focused on a thin, bone-like creature with jagged spikes running from its head all the way down its back. The moment it noticed him, it turned sharply and sprinted forward, fast enough to make the footage shake. The man stumbled while recording, clearly terrified, but somehow kept filming as it jumped over a wall and vanished. Some say it was the infamous chupacabra. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Creature inside shed. A farmer from a rural town captured something that still haunts him. In his video, a massive arm, thin, pale, and oddly shaped, reached out from the shadows of his shed before quickly pulling back. He steadied the camera, and just for a moment, a face appeared in the doorway, watching. Then it was gone. The hand was too big to belong to a person, and the shape of the face didn't match any animal he knew. Many believe he caught a cryptid on film, one of those mysterious creatures from old folklore that never fully disappeared. Athens Goatman. Deep inside Stroud's Run State Park in Athens, Ohio, 3 friends filmed something they still can't explain. Their flashlight caught a figure crouched by the trees, a horned being with the head of a goat and the body of a man. For a second, it stayed still, before slowly turning its glowing eyes toward them. The friends ran, their camera bouncing as they fled through the woods. Locals have long warned about the Goatman, said to guard those woods since the 1960s. The Friends clip didn't just revive that story, it made people believe it might still be true. Mysterious entity. In 2018, a man named Jonathan Reeves from New Mexico sent up his drone after his dogs came home from the woods, scratched and restless. What the drone captured stunned him. A tall, thin figure moving through the trees, its arms unnaturally long, its body jerky and uneven. It scratched at itself as if its skin didn't fit right. At first, Jonathan thought it might be an animal, but the movement was too deliberate, too human. Online, people argued, skinwalker, cryptid, or something else entirely. Jonathan never went back to those woods again. Forest encounter. In 2020, a hiker in thick forest got separated from his group just before sunset. Following a narrow trail, he noticed movement ahead, something crawling low to the ground. When his flashlight caught it, he froze. It was pale, almost skinless, its limbs bent the wrong way as it crept forward. For a split second, it looked right at him, then darted into the dark. Panicked, he ran. But when rescuers searched the area later, only his backpack was found. His friends swore they never saw him again. Some say it was the rake. Others think it was something worse. Central American mystery. This happened sometime back in 2019. In Central America, a man was recording outside a quiet home when his camera caught something bizarre sitting on a rock. It had long, stick-like legs, a pointed head, and a thin body that didn't match any known animal. For a while, it didn't move, almost as if it was waiting. but when it turned toward the camera, it suddenly jumped and vanished. Locals who saw the video called it everything from an alien to a mythical being. That rock, they say, still sits untouched. No one's dared to go near it since. Wood spirit. A villager walking home through his usual forest shortcut suddenly froze. Up in the branches of an old tree sat a pitch-black figure with wide, glowing eyes that didn't blink once. Locals often spoke of Pokong Gendruvo, a spirit said to guard those woods, but few believed it until now. The man's trembling hands managed to film the eerie figure before he ran. Since that night, he's refused to take that path after sunset, and even today, no one dares to walk through those trees alone. Lizardman sighting? Deep in the forests of Canada, a camera picked up something that shouldn't exist. From a distance, a strange humanoid figure crouched low, watching, almost waiting for something. Its movements were slow, calculated, and unsettlingly human. Witnesses said its arms were too long, and its head looked almost reptilian. Some even claimed it had the face of a lizard. The internet quickly split. Some said it was proof of the Lizardman. Others called it another clever hoax. But the clip's eerie nature has kept people watching it over and over, trying to make sense of what they saw. Jungle encounter. In a Nicaraguan forest known for jaguars and thick jungle, a hunter stumbled upon something he couldn't explain. Between the trees stood a thin, green-skinned figure, too still, too silent to be human. He took a few steps closer, and that's when it bolted, darting into the brush so fast he barely caught the movement. Locals say goblins live in those woods, watching from the shadows, and the hunter swears that if one was brave enough to stand in plain sight, there were more nearby, keeping an eye on him. Terrifying encounter. What started as a normal hike turned into something straight out of folklore. A man walking through the woods stopped cold when a small creature with pointed ears appeared on the path ahead. Before he could react, it bent down, scooped up a few stones, and hurled them right at him. Then, it darted into the bushes and disappeared. He didn't wait around. Later, he said it looked like something from the old stories. Small, sharp, and angry. If that thing was real, who knows what else might be living in those woods. Tiny creature. An explorer filming inside an abandoned house caught something that made his skin crawl. From the corner of the room, a small shape darted across the floor. But when his flashlight hit it, he froze. It wasn't a rat. Its face looked strangely human, with wide eyes staring right back at him. The clip is only a few seconds long, but it's enough to leave people guessing. Online, some said it was a mythical creature. Others believed it was some kind of failed experiment. Whatever it was, it clearly wasn't meant to be found. The Vanishing Beast. In a small Indonesian village, locals feared a river that seemed cursed. Any cattle that wandered too close vanished without a trace. Tired of losing animals, a few villagers went out to investigate. As they stepped into the water, they saw it. A black creature with a long tail gliding just beneath the surface. Its face was hard to make out, but its size alone was enough to make their hearts race. They surrounded it, trying to corner it with sticks, but before they could get close, it vanished. Some say it still lives there, waiting under the muddy water for whatever wanders next. Dragon serpent. You think dragon-like snakes are just movie stuff, right? Well, this herpetologist in the woods would probably disagree. He spotted a massive snake unlike anything he'd ever seen. Horns rising from its head and fin like scales under its chin. The thing looked half reptile, half myth. The expert didn't stick around for long. He backed away slowly, then left the forest for good. Some say he'd found a species from another world. Others think it wasn't a snake at all. Forest nightmare. A camper thought spending a quiet night in the woods would be peaceful until strange noises started echoing through the trees. Curious, he grabbed his flashlight and went to check, which turned out to be a terrible idea. After searching for a while, he spotted something that froze him in place. A tall, twisted tree with a creature clinging to its trunk. Its body was stretched and dark, with eyes that didn't blink once. That was all it took for him to abandon his tent and run for his life. Some say he's never gone camping alone again. Creature on roof. Late one night, a man heard strange rustling behind his house. When he stepped outside, his flashlight caught something crouched near the dirt. A thin, bony creature with a stretched skull, almost humanoid, but not quite. It seemed to be digging or feeding on something. To test if it was real, he tossed a stick, and that's when it turned. The creature's face was pale, smooth, and unlike anything human. In one motion, it vaulted onto the roof and vanished into the dark. Since then, he's kept his lights on at night, convinced it might return. Lost chupacabra footage. Back in the late 90s, North Carolina had rumors about strange creatures roaming at night, but no proof ever surfaced. That changed when a man recently uploaded an old tape he'd been hiding for decades. The video showed a four-legged creature with a narrow face and sharp movements, something eerily similar to a chupacabra. The man claimed authorities back then had warned him to keep it quiet. Once it hit social media, the clip exploded with debates. Some said it was just an animal. Others were sure it proved that something real had been covered up. Night figure. Captured in Brazil, locals were terrified by a figure that appeared at night. It walked like a human, but didn't look like one. Tired of being afraid, a few brave men decided to catch it. One night, they spotted it and managed to trap it. But when they looked closer, confusion turned to fear. Its skin looked half human, half something else, like an experiment gone wrong. No one could decide what they'd caught. Some said it was proof of otherworldly life. Others whispered it was the result of secret experiments. Whatever it was, no one's seen it since. Horned presence. A group of tourists went hiking through the woods, completely unaware they weren't alone. Nothing strange happened during the trip until one of them reviewed the footage later. In the background of a clip, a figure stood behind the trees, tall, dark, and horned like a devil. It seemed to be watching them. When the video went online, people argued if it was just a person in costume, or something much worse. Whatever it was, the thought of it standing there unseen was enough to make anyone shiver. Campground creature. In early 2023, a couple camping deep in the woods recorded something straight out of a nightmare. At first, it was just strange sounds, distant snapping and quiet rustling beyond the firelight. But soon, those noises grew louder, closer. When the creature finally burst from the trees, the camera caught it. A pale, thin figure with unnaturally long limbs and glowing eyes reflecting in the dark. It sprinted toward them before vanishing as quickly as it appeared. They packed up and left that night. The video spread fast online, and most viewers agreed. Whatever that was, it didn't look human. The disappearing camper.
Okay, I don't know where this thing is, or when it's gonna...
A group of campers were relaxing when a strange sound broke the silence, something moving among the trees. They spotted a man standing still, facing away from them. Nothing seemed off until one of them walked closer. Right before their eyes, the man vanished into the trees, as if something had pulled him in. When they re-watched the footage, they saw it clearly. A faint blur, like a shadowy shape reaching for him.
Okay, I don't know where this thing is, or when it's gonna...
Some called it an alien abduction. Others said it was something darker. Either way, no one's been able to explain what dragged that man away. Swamp creature encounter. In 2021, a group of friends were joking around in a murky swamp when one of them dipped his hand into the water, just for fun. But seconds later, he screamed and yanked it back, claiming something had grabbed him. Everyone laughed nervously until the water started glowing. Then, a pale, ghostly hand slowly rose to the surface. It wasn't human, thin, webbed, and moving on its own. The group bolted, leaving their gear behind. They later said they were sure it wasn't a prank or a fish. Whatever lived in that swamp, it wasn't meant to be disturbed. Now, it's time for today's subscriber's pick. It happened around 1 a.m. on a quiet road outside Salem, Oregon. A driver heading home noticed something strange in the distance. A still, shadowy shape lying right in the middle of the road. He slowed down, confused, trying to figure out if it was debris or maybe an animal. But as the headlights got closer, he realized it wasn't either. The figure was too tall, too human-shaped, yet not quite human. Its arms seemed unnaturally long, and its head tilted slightly as if watching him approach. The man kept filming, but before he could get any closer, he thought this creepy, mysterious creature moved towards him, which made his stomach drop. He panicked, swerved around it, and drove off fast. Later, when he checked his footage, he noticed the creature did not move, but it was its eyes, and just the air that felt really unnerved and cold, which made him anxious and scared.